Hello, I will be talking about cramming for tests and online courses. Starting out with online courses, uh, they can be a hit or a miss for anyone. If you're comfortable with meeting with a class for uh, twice a week minimum, being able to talk to your professor and meeting with your classmates regularly, online courses would not be the thing for you. If you like the extra time to work on assignments and you don't really care about meeting anyone in your class, I'd go with online courses. Now, there are a few advantages to online courses that you don't have with in-class courses. Online courses, uh, again, you can work on anything that's assigned there. 6 days of the week, you only have to meet about once a week, if even that. Supposedly, it costs less because you don't necessarily need a textbook, but that varies from class to class. Um, let's see what else. Uh, yeah, no, you don't meet with your professor as often, which can be a bit of a problem for some people, but for others it's just fine. Now, for cramming for tests, if you ever get stuck in that situation, try to get out of it as fast as you can. It's highly not recommended by any means at all. You're more than likely not going to pass that test with a good grade if that's what you're aiming for. But um, if you are stuck in that, some things that you can do is you can find a quiet room to study in, lock everyone out, do everything you need to do in advance, um, and make sure that you have everything you need with you in the room, like food or supplies or anything else of that nature. Try to do it earlier on in the day so that you're not stuck at night cramming when you should really be sleeping for the test. If you stay up late at night trying to study for the test, you're not going to remember at least half of what you study for, and it'll just be a big waste of your time. So studying at night, not really recommended. If you do need to get something with caffeine in it, or maybe an apple.
Juggling schoolwork and your job. Hello, I'm here to talk to you about juggling schoolwork and your job, and also teacher conferences. Juggling schoolwork and your job. Okay, it's important to know what dates you have quizzes, tests, and things like that. You're going to want to get your shifts covered for important dates, such as tests or quizzes and things like that. If you catch yourself in a bind, like you have work the day before a quiz or a test, make sure you get all your studying or homework done in advance. That way, you're not caught off guard or in a time crunch or something like that. For teacher conferences, you're going to want to schedule your time and know where you're going and all that. Come prepared, bring your materials, whatever you're working on, to get some extra help on. You want questions and just comments so you can get extra help on things like that. Managing time.
Hi, I'm a student at Northern Virginia Community College, and I'm here to talk to you about managing time as a college student. It's really important that you make sure that you work first and play later. Balancing time between hanging out with your friends and studying for tests can be really challenging. I know friends are always contacting you, telling you, "Oh no, you can do the assignment later. It'll get done later. It's not due till tomorrow." But you have to keep in mind that you need to do it before you go out and hang out with your friends. Plus, you'll feel a lot better. Also, I know when you have assignments that you have to do online or on that require using the computer, it's hard, it's almost impossible not to pull up Facebook. So, I mean, if you have Facebook up, and you have people chatting you or sending you messages or writing on your wall or you're getting notifications, it's really hard not to check them and see what's going on. So if possible, try really hard not to pull Facebook up. That'll help you manage. That will help you reduce a lot of distractions. It's also hard for high school students that come straight out of high school and they go to college because they're not used to the different workload. The difference of homework between high school and college is a big difference, and the way you may have managed your time in high school may not work in college. It's also important that you write every single assignment down. If you don't write an assignment down, you have a strong possibility of forgetting the assignment and not completing it, and then you get an F on the assignment. Um, for me, what works best is for when I have an assignment to do is going in a quiet room and just listening to my music. Find whatever is best for you and what environment works best for you, so that you can get the assignment done on a reasonable time and on time. Also, if you have siblings, younger siblings that harass you, go in whichever area you are and lock the door and don't come out until you're done, because they will continue to distract you and you'll never get it done. And here is Sophia talking about scholarships.
Scholarships and financial aid.
Hey, I'm here to talk to you about financial aid and scholarships. The first thing you want to do is fill out your FAFSA at fafsa.gov, and your deadline is May 1st. When you're applying for a FAFSA, you're applying for financial aid. So you're applying for loans, grants, and scholarships, maybe even work study. What you need to apply for financial aid is you need to apply for a PIN number, and you can apply for that at pin.edu.gov. You need your tax return or your parents' tax return information. Also, you need a citizenship to be eligible for it. The process takes about 4 to 12 weeks, so it's a pretty long process. You get your updates on the Nova account, and if you have any holds, you go to the financial aid office, and you usually need to fill out some papers. To not be eligible for financial aid, you can't have a felony or a criminal record, and F1 students aren't eligible.
Documentation for missed classes.
Hi, I'm here to talk to you about being on time. The first thing, you really need to make sure that you finish your homework prior to coming to class, because if you don't finish your homework before you come to class, you're probably going to end up getting a bad grade on your homework. You turn in late, 10% off every day, or something like that. You want to leave home with time enough for traffic or accidents on 66 or whatever you take to get here. I find that in the morning there's always that one guy that likes to go 35 on the highway, and then you get surrounded by dump trucks, so that's cool too. You need to get at least 6 to 8 hours before you get to class of sleep, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to function. I find myself dozing off if I don't get at least 6 hours of sleep. Another point to talk about is to be organized. Being organized actually helps out a lot, because then you have all of your supplies and you know where it is. You know how to get to it, pretty much. If you have a hard time waking up in the morning, it's a good time to set 2 alarms, because you're probably going to hit snooze the first time. I do that a lot. Make sure you have the proper supplies for class too. In this class, you don't need Scantrons, but it's good to have pencils, loose leaf paper, a binder, and a folder to keep all of your work. You want to make sure that you're awake enough to drive. Michael can tell you all about that. If you're having trouble staying awake on the highway, it's a good idea to roll down your windows and turn up the radio. If you have trouble staying awake in the car, some classmates might be driving for an hour or more just to get to this class, so those are some pretty good tips. Things to help you stay awake, which are recommended by college students, are 5-hour energy. That's good. Make sure that you don't take more than 2 in like a 5-hour period. Somebody just had their heart explode in Richmond. Ball's energy drink is good. Cold water, ice cold water, and Arizona green tea. Documentation for absences. Make sure to contact your professor or classmates if you miss a class. If you're able to keep up on your work, you should do that, because otherwise you will fall behind, and towards the end of the year, you'll probably end up turning in all your work late. The only thing that will be excused is a doctor's note. Doctor's documentation is also acceptable if you have chronic health problems.